Give us an idea where things stand in this moment and Israel's ability to continue to combat this fire coming in.
What you're seeing there, especially in that southern part, where Israel has basically three axes of advance, which they're launching this operation. The first one there is in the northwest, where they're trying to go down the coast. And I think they're probably going to continue all the way down until they completely cut the coast off from any possibility of receiving anything in the water. In the south, they're cutting across, right, bisecting it in half, so that I think that the intent there is to cut off any possibility of any of these relief supplies getting up to the people in the Hamas fighters within the Gaza Strip. And then, of course, in that northeast corner, then they're starting to move closer and getting all the areas that are open areas primarily cleared out, so that it gives Israel a base of operations. Once they have that cordon completely surrounded, I think then you're going to start seeing large amounts of the ugly fighting that we know is yet to come, the house-to-house, building-to-building, room-by-room sometimes fight. And that's when it's going to be a really tough infantry fight. And probably Israel's going to suffer their highest casualties at that point. But their point right now is to get all that circled and cut off so that they isolate Hamas.
Colonel, and thank you very much for talking us through sort of what we're seeing here. But considering everything you just said and the advances that Israel's been able to make, especially when it comes to the tunnels, which you obviously can't see here, they're underground, but that labyrinth, I mean, considering those advances, what does it mean to you when you hear for the White House saying they're open to this pause to bring humanitarian aid in a moment where Israel seems to be making some progress here?
Militarily speaking, a pause is going to have no negative impact at all. Israel has complete command on the ground, and they can complete this cordon on their own timeline, and there's virtually nothing Hamas can do to stop that. The idea that the Hamas would have extra advantage if they had that time is, I think, not borne out by the facts, because they had months to prepare for this before this began, and now they've been pummeled in the air nonstop ever since October 7th. On the other hand, the civilians in the area who are just as innocent as the Israeli civilians who were murdered earlier, I think that we got to do something to take care of them. And it's important to point out that this pause is not a ceasefire. It's literally, all right, we're going to wait 8 hours and then get enough large numbers of trucks in so that the people don't die. Because I'm telling you, if lots of Palestinians start dying of hunger, of thirst, of preventable diseases because they can't get food in, that's going to undercut Israel's support, and that's bad for them.
Colonel, we have up on the screen the number of U.S. troops and contractors that are currently in the Middle East. This is as of October 2023. That number stands at approximately 45,000. You can see them across Turkey, Syria, Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain, obviously Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. And you see that build of military might and support surrounding Israel in this moment. But as I say that, I flip over to the other screen to show you sort of Israel surrounded by these Iranian proxies, the Iranian-backed groups in Syria and Iraq, obviously Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen. They pose a continued threat to those U.S. forces that are stationed all throughout the Middle East. Weigh in on the moment and how we should be responding to the continued actions on the part of these Iranian proxies right now.
Well, look, America's primary interest in this is keeping the war contained to the Gaza Strip, not even letting it get expanded into Hezbollah in Lebanon, and definitely not having our troops exposed and then getting attacked and drawing us into war, God forbid, with Iran. So I think our primary thing is to keep our troops safe and to not expand this.